Well, everyone's Matt Morozic, and this is going to be a really cool review. This came in the other day. This is Captain Marvel, art directed by Bushicollector. And when I was chatting with him, I chat with Bushi quite a bit actually. Super nice guy. He's kind of the guy that broke me into the whole custom statue world. When I found out about these guys that produce these and art direct these pieces and stuff, and so he kind of showed me the ropes as far as how all this works. And nice guy. I just found out he has his what the hell is it called? I think it's Falcon and Red Wing. I think that's what it's called. I always want to say Hawkman. It's not Hawkman, but he just I was almost gonna get. He had a pre-paint available, and I was gonna buy the pre-paint, strip it and repaint it, but he just told me he had someone back out of a kit. So I'm like, damn, now I have to get that sucker. But anything Bushi does, it's worth grabbing. He did the Thor, which was my second quarter scale statue, which I sold to someone, and then every day I look at it, I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have sold that thing, and he let me buy it back. So but I have I'm painting another one for him. He also art directed the Beast kit, which is extremely famous in my opinion, with my little bit of knowledge in the custom world. The Beast is by far the best custom kit I have seen. A close second would be the Alpha 3 Captain America. I love the Thor. A lot of guys don't like the pose. I think it's awesome, but this is cool. I'm not really usually too hyped about art boxes, but this thing is awesome. When I picked this thing up, it's heavy. I was like, man, this thing's got a lot of weight to it. And it's because it's just a lot of resin in what you get. So killer art box. This would make an awesome poster. You know, when you're done, cut it out, frame it. Great poster for it. A nice feature, and this is a really small touch, but it makes a huge difference to anyone trying to open one of these damn boxes. What he did, I think I should still be in frame, is he cut the top about an inch short. And you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why the hell do you do that? Because now you can grab it and it comes off so much easier. So he asked me what I thought about that, and I said that's a killer touch. It's small, but it's really killer. The only thing I would suggest, if he wants to take that one step further, and I've seen this once or twice in some other stuff I've built in the past, is if they make the box and they put 4 little holes. So Bushi, when you watch this, I was trying to explain to you. You put 4 little holes in the bottom of each corner of the box. Not big, you know, half an inch, quarter of an inch. And all it does is it creates it from creating a vacuum. So if you have that lip plus those holes, the box top comes right off. So really nice. In the past reviews, I haven't been doing the unpacking because, like the Scarlet Witch, took me forever to unpack. But you know, and it's time consuming to show that. But again, I wanted to show you the box and that little touch. So I will show you real quick unpacking this. Again, it's super high quality. I've already taken it apart and put it together once, posted some pictures, but I'm just gonna pull everything out. I can't remember if there was bubble wrap. If there was bubble wrap, I threw it away. But the way this is packed, you really don't need it. Everything fits very nicely and snugly in all the compartments. Everything's in little baggies. The only one thing that's a little, that if you don't know this when you first open this, when you take the first piece of foam off, it goes all the way through on a few of the compartments. And if you don't like take these off and take the parts out first, and you try to do this, well, I had one baggie of parts, luckily nothing broke. When I went to take this off, it fell on the floor because it was stuck and then it shook. So, you know, that's a little crit right there. But again, sometimes I'm looking for things to be critical about, and if it's that small, you know, it's pretty amazing. This part of the box is the body. Whoops. And it's one solid piece. And this guy's big. He's a big piece for, again, I'm still learning kind of like what things should be size-wise for quarter scale. And from what I've seen, this guy's big. So we'll get a measurement on him in a second. I'll put this to the side over here. And then we go next layer down. I'm not going to show it to you. It's just it's the base. There's a piece in here that goes on the base. And then down here is the base, which is in 2 very large pieces. I thought there was another little, no, there you go, I have it out. Again. So now there are on the base, and you gotta be careful if you get this piece or you have this piece. There's some little, it's not really on this part, this is the main part of the base. But there's this big piece of like machinery, it looks like a knife edge. There's some little antennas that kind of stick up here. And I thought I broke one the other day when I was repacking this. It's not because of the way it's packaged, it's because I wasn't being careful. And you just gotta be careful that if you're putting this back in the box to ship it to someone, or you're like me, take it out, review it, put it back, and look at it again a year later, that you're just careful with those. I'm not sure if there's wires in those parts of the antennas, or if it's just the resin. So there's that. Okay, so that's everything. And overall, it's pretty simple as far as like assembly goes. And there's a small vinyl on the bottom. This is the first statue I've seen where they actually put felt on the bottom, but there are, again, little foam feet. I've kind of learned that a lot of guys don't like felt on the bottom of their statue bases, and I kind of get that. I think if anyone has like a grandparents with old lamps that have felt on the bottom, it can leave a mark on your your counter or your table or whatever. I'm not sure the sculptor, so I'm going to look that up. I don't have that information for you right now. I'll have to find out from Bushi. So here's the base, really nice. Again, it's like a wreckage scene, really nicely done. Pipes and stuff here. This big old honkin' whatever this is slides in perfectly. It's a perfect fit. I'm getting better at having my turntable right there when I'm ready for it. As far as the base goes, there's only like 2 other little pieces. There is a little baggie of, where is it? Somewhere. There's a little baggie with some antennas in it. It's still, oh no, it's right here. So we got these 2 little antenna guys. They're small, and they go right here. Which is kind of, I think there's wires in here. That I think I cracked that piece, so that may come off. I'm wondering why they just didn't leave those on when they left everything else on. Anyway, no big deal. I got this little guy right here, and it plugs in. Where's that plug in? The front here. Or, you know what? Do those go there? There are 2 holes here. Nope, those are just part of the sculpt. It goes here. So again, this is, I say this all the time, I'm not a comic guy. I don't know, I build and paint anything that speaks to me. I don't care what it's from or who it is. You know, that's just me. I don't care if it's DC or Marvel or whatever. If I think it looks cool and I think I'd like it, I build it. So I'm not prejudiced to any type, any one storyline or character. I do kind of have a soft spot for Captain America. Again, I'm not a comic guy, but I love movies, and I'm not much of a reader, to be honest. I never have been a reader, but I loved the first Captain America movie. I guess diehard guys, depending on how diehard you are, may or may not like what those movies are. How accurate they're to the characters. I want to make sure I'm in frame again because he's tall once I get him on there. I think we'll be okay. Pan up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So just look at the base real quick. Again, we've got this nice big piece that slides right in. A lot of nice detail down here. You go to, again, there's a lot of detail. You can go to town on this sucker. You could do just rock. You can make this look like maybe lava. You could do all sorts of cool things with the rock. And then all the mechanical detail, you can go crazy with metallics on this and just make it look all burnt out and stuff. So a lot of fun there. Let's get him on there. Let me show you him real quick. So just phenomenal. I mean, again, I dare say ready to paint. Now, I did look at this pretty good the other day when I took it out of the box, and I did find something very small. So it's obvious that when they casted this, I can tell how they casted this. The torso was casted, the legs were casted as a piece, and it looks like the boots were included in the legs as a casting. So basically from the waist down was casted as a piece. The arms are casted individually, and the only reason I can tell that is because if I flip it on the back, where the seam is real nice there, they missed a little bit of a seam right there, so I have to go back there and fill that in just a hair. No big deal. But that kind of gave it away that these two from the biceps down were casted individually, which makes sense if you look at how this is sculpted. That's how that would work. Let's plug him in there like that. I love the fact that the hair is sculpted separately. Makes that job a lot easier. Let me make sure I'm in frame again. Pan up just a little bit. I told you he's tall. He's a big guy. Okay. He does have switch outs. He's got two different sets of hands. He's got closed fists like that. But I don't know who would use those when you have these. Oh, that's the wrong arm. That doesn't look right. Like that. And like that. Okay. And then you have these two orbs that go in his hands. Like this. Let's see, just like that. Okay, so there you go. Pretty impressive. Nice job. Big. Where's my tape measure? Just had it. Let's see, width-wise, from your widest point to the widest point is going to be right about 19 inches. Depth-wise, this is your furthest point to there. It's going to be a little tough. I'll have to kind of guesstimate on this. 15.5 inches. Let's see, overall height, base to the top of the head, is 24 inches. And then without the base, he's 20.5. There you go. So the goal is to light these up, see if we can do that. That'd be really cool. Another option, which would be the kind of an easy way out, is to paint them with UV light. So the only problem with UV light is that you have to have a UV light source then in order to see it. So your display cabinet would have some sort of function to be able to go between regular light and UV light. Or you could do glow in the dark paint. So like when your display's on, they're just clear, and then when it turns off, you can have it glow in the dark, which would be kind of cool. But I think some LEDs in there would be awesome. I do have another small, again, I'm looking for things to critique because it's so nice. I wish the magnets in these hands were a little stronger. They just feel like, I feel like without the orbs in there, they're perfect. But I feel like with the orbs in there, that it could be a little stronger magnet. They're not going to fall out by any means. It just has a sense that it doesn't give you that nice like click that it's gonna, like it's solid. It is. They're not going to fall out. I mean, but again, it's a small crit. Looking for things to complain about, and that's about it really. But just a really cool piece. Again, I found, as hard as I tried, I found just a few little things that could be improved. The magnets. I have a friend that specializes in making things light up, and I sent him a picture of this, like, hey, what do you think about lighting this up? He's like, well, yeah, it can be done. It's not going to be easy. My initial thought was, on the bus that I was doing for ammo, that's kind of in limbo. One of the ways they get things to light up is they have an LED in where they want lit, and then there's a battery, like would be in the hand, and simply when you take the orb out, they're turned off. But when you put the orb in, the two contacts from the LED would touch the battery and they would turn on. That's my first initial thought. My next thought would be a little more evasive, basically not making it a switch out would require some surgery maybe, but it's kind of the same concept, but boring out a channel into the hand and doing a magnet battery system in the arm as another way to do that. But there's definitely a way to light this. You can light anything so small. It's just a matter of doing it. But there is Captain Marvel, art directed by Bushi. I don't know the art director or the sculptor, but I'll put it down in the description and put a link to his page when I find that out. Now that he's on here, it's a little, just a hair so slight. Maybe I just don't have him in there all the way. Just a hair like wobbly. So what I would do to fix that, and it'd be an easy fix, if you watch any of my work in progress videos, I'm going to take these out so they don't fall out and break any fingers. It'd be a simple fix. Basically, I would, basically it seems like it needs a little wedge like under this toe or maybe on the back of the heel. Maybe the back of the heel would be better, it'd be less to see. But basically what I would do is I would slather this foot in petroleum jelly or Vaseline. I'd have to grind the primer off. I'd put a little Bondo basically back there, and with this covered in petroleum jelly, you can put it in there, get it set how you want, let the Bondo dry, and then just carve it down, and then it'll be a perfect fit. So that's a really easy trick to get things to fit perfectly if you're having an issue with that. So yeah, just petroleum jelly around the foot, a little body filler, put it in there before the body filler dries, let it sit, and then it'll be a perfect fit every time, just like I did with the Hulk. So there you go, killer piece. I'll be reviewing another one for him shortly. It's gonna, again, I think it's Falcon and Red Wing. I think that's what it's called. Again, I don't know the characters' names by heart yet, but yeah, cool piece. As always, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time. Sorry, I was starting to pack this guy up and I forgot to tell you what I think I would charge to paint this guy, because I wanted to do that for my reviews, just to give people an idea of kind of what I charge for stuff. Seeing as big, how big, he's very high quality, as I mentioned. He's big. I think the most complicated part of the paint is really the torso, because if you look at his color scheme, the base color's not too hard, but it's got little stars everywhere, which is a little, it's a little tricky to do. That's something that would be new for me. But basically, go in there with the airbrush and real tight and just do little dots, or you can get a stencil. I think this guy, if I was to give a quote, it's always better to see a kit in person. Sometimes it's hard to give a quote if you've never seen the kit in person. I've been burned a few times on that. I get a kiss like, ugh, I should charge more. But I think just because of the size, I think this is probably, again, I'd say $700 to $800 paint job, in my opinion, based on the size and just some of the little details that it requires. This would take me probably 2 weeks to do, working on the weekends and at night to do that. So based on that, this is a 60 to 80 hour paint job for me. Again, that's me. Other guys paint faster and maybe can charge less, or I don't know. I don't know what other guys charge. I don't ask them. It's not my business, but I try to be open with my pricing. That way, guys who are looking for painters can kind of get a sense of what they can expect, I think. But yeah, so that's what I think this is worth. I think it's about an $800 paint job, $600 to $800, I should say. Sorry. So maybe like $7 would be a good accurate estimate. I know the Hellboy's $8 because there's a lot of you've been watching my work in progress videos. It's a kit. It's a true kit. There's a lot of pinning and putty work to do. This is pretty much straight up paint, except for that one little thing I mentioned where I would try to fix the foot a little bit. But again, I think this would take me 60 hours to paint. I know a lot of guys paint faster than that. I don't yet. I don't know if I'll ever paint faster. I don't know. Constantly trying to think of ways to do things faster but still get the results I want, and I haven't found them yet. So who knows? Maybe there's stuff I just don't know how to do yet, which is very possible because, again, pretty new to this, the statue scene and stuff, but I've been building resin kits for a while. I've seen a lot of resin kits. Seen some really nice ones like this. I've seen some really crappy ones were things I've bought and I just threw them in the trash because they weren't even worth the effort. So, but yeah, I think this would be like I would say $700 paint job, $750 somewhere in there. And also just because, again, you know, a piece like what was I talking about? Crap, I can't think of the kit it was. Oh, the Hulk. The Mad X Hulk. I mean, that's $1,000 job to me, straight up $1,000. And then if you want the base modified, like I did with Sonu's, you know, add $300. Again, when you have a piece like this, that when you purchase it, it's going to retain its value. Not only will it retain it, it's going to go up in value. And then you have a quality paint job, it's just going to go up in value again. So, you know, these customs, what's great about them is that if they're sought after, like the Beast kit and the Mad X Hulk and things like that, as long as there's collectors, they'll demand a certain price. And depending on how well they're painted or who they're painted by, they'll demand even a higher price. So based on, you know, kind of like what I'm learning as far as like what things are worth now, basically anything that the Bushi does is right away it's going to be worth, you know, the value of this price will never go down. Every time I posted some photos, it's like I had a ton of questions like, can I buy it? Where do I get this stuff? And you know, it's like, sorry, sold out of production kind of thing. So it's only gonna go up in value. So add a nice paint job to it, and it's gonna increase the value. So as a collector, not only will you retain the value of the kit, but you'll retain the value of the paint job, and probably increase the value overall. So, you know, if this is a how much is this piece if you buy it? I can't remember. I forgot. But yeah, so that's I would say 700, 750 is what I would charge for this guy. So there you go. Last bit of this video. Sorry, I meant to do that earlier. But thanks for watching.